Alright guys, this is Nordrammus here, and today let's talk about trolls. Now it does not matter your elo, you could be bronze, you could be gold, you could be diamond, you could even be challenger. Every one of us is going to face trolls on an almost day-to-day basis, and that's one of the sad parts about League. That being said, however, if you want to climb, knowing how to deal with trolls better than most people can be a really good way to help get you an extra boost of elo, and help make you a better player overall. Now there are really two types of trolls. The first type and the worst type of troll is a troll that is literally going to int feed and is going to basically play for the enemy team and do everything they can to make you lose just because they're mad at the world. Now in this scenario there's really not much you can do to prevent these losses. They're just going to happen to everyone, but hopefully you get an even number of them throughout your League lifetime. What you can do however is win more games when you have those kind of trolls that are maybe playing something off meta, maybe they're going double top, but they're actually still trying to win. You can win these games, although they're going to be a bit unique and different to your average game. So here's a scenario. You're locked into a game and you're in the loading screen and you realise you've got a troll. When you get into the game, you need to go in the mindset, do not feed that troll. He may try and troll at the start, and if you fuel that fire by saying, why aren't you buying wards, why aren't you going to the right lane, why aren't you playing correct League of Legends, all that's really going to do is fuel the fire, which honestly can turn a possible loss into a definite loss. So I'd say right off the bat, if you suspect someone to be a troll, first thing you should do is mute that player and just don't try and communicate with them. Now it may sound like a good idea to try and calm them down or try and ask them what they're doing, but at the end of the day, more often than not, it's going to be the case that they're just going to respond badly to almost anything you say. So just mute them and focus on your gameplay only. Now these trolls may be doing something really odd or unusual, but what you have to do is just observe what they're doing, try and understand why they're doing what they're doing, because usually they'll have some kind of strange tactic in mind, and you have to use whatever they're doing to try and take some advantage out of it, basically. So I'm going to give you an example of the recently banned player who used to play Singe support with Smite, and used to just go and counter jungle the enemy jungler. Now even though this guy was using a legitimate tactic, or at least legitimate for him, most people and almost all players would consider him a troll, especially if they got him in their own games. But if you go into the game with a positive mindset, what you could say is, alright, I'm the jungler, I'm going to go in with Singe Smite support and try and basically 2v1 the enemy jungler, get some kills that way. When we've got some kills, maybe take it down to bot lane and snowball bot lane. Or if the bot lane or something rushes off to try and get the Singe support out of their jungle, what you could do is push the lane really hard and try and deny some minions at the expense of Singe's life, for example. So there are a lot of things you can do, and it's going to be different every game for the different unique tactics they're using. So if they're going double top, for instance, and you're playing ADC, you've got to play super safe and just try and let them win top, because you're not going to suddenly win a 1v2 bottom lane unless you're an absolute beast or you're like better than your elo. So the best thing you can do is play safe, let them get on with what they're doing, because if you try and control them via chat, they're just not going to respond well. Like, they have their own agenda, and you just have to focus on your own game, try and get farm for yourself. And at the end of the day, no matter what happens in the early game, once you get past that like 15-20 minute mark, everyone's going to be grouping anyway, so you'll be a normal team again in 15 minutes, let's say. Now all these things I've said in the past minute or so, they're really not easy things to do. But honestly, these things do make a good player, because a good player should focus on, I'm going to call it elo over ego because that sounds really good, but your elo doesn't really matter, but it's basically focusing on your own play rather than your own ego, rather than thinking, he's a troll, I'm just going to get angry at him and I'm just going to not play this game because he doesn't deserve to win or whatever. Ego is not important at all in League of Legends. You're probably never ever going to see that troll again, and all you can do is your best in that game to try and win. From the get-go, go in there with a good mindset, because that will just give you more chance to win. Now the last point I want to mention is that if you get into your games and you've got a troll champion in your game, you're going to want to go in the mindset of making laning phase as short as possible. Now from personal experience, these quote-unquote troll picks usually win or lose lane really hard. If they start winning lane really hard, the best thing you can do is group up with them and try and get their tower as fast as possible to earn a big advantage for your team by getting tower first blood. If they start losing lane hard, there are two things you can do as a jungler, for instance. Either you can try and set up a 4 or 5 man gank spot and try and get rid of the tower as soon as possible so that lane is no longer a problem, or you can totally ditch that lane and just focus on getting another lane so fed that your troll pick doesn't even matter. So to summarize the points I've made in this video, don't feed the troll, you want to mute them as soon as you get in the game, you want to focus on your elo over your ego, and you want to just let them do their own thing and try and make any advantage you can from the things that they're doing. If you apply all these tips every time you have a troll in your game, you're going to have a much better time, and you're going to have a much higher chance of winning those quote unquote troll games. Well, I hope you guys found this video informative. Drop a like and a comment to say if it helped you out. It really does help me out. I hope I'll see you again for another video, and good luck beating those trolls.